959 1-800-488-7959.
It's time for the Playmaker Spotlight with Executive Coach and Vistage Chair, Dick Smith.
Welcome to the Playmaker Spotlight, the part of Get Down to Business where we speak to CEOs and business owners and share their stories and best practices with you. You know, Playmakers is brought to you in part by Vistage, the world's largest CEO advisory board organization. I'm Dick Smith, your host. I'm a CEO business coach and award-winning chair for Vistage International. And tonight, I'm very pleased to have as our guest Brad Niedermaier. He's president and CEO of a company called Jump Forward LLC Incorporated, headquartered in Chicago. Jump Forward, the leading software provider for collegiate athletic departments, was recently recognized as one of America's fastest growing private companies on the Inc. 5000 list, not once, but 2 years in a row, I found out. Jump Forward's unified athletic department provides a single platform for coaches, student athletes, and the entire athletic department staff to share access-based information, issues dealing with NCAA compliance, for example. They create paperless form workflows for communications for the whole athletic department and everybody involved in compliance. With growth of nearly 700% over the last 3 years, Jump Forward was the 26th fastest growing company in Illinois. And again tonight, very pleased to have Brad Niedermaier, president and CEO of Jump Forward, with us. Brad, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Dick.
Good. So give us a brief history on how did the firm get started and when did you come along?
So Jump Forward was founded in 2008 by Adam McCombs. He was a Cisco senior product manager for 8 years there, and he started looking for a market where he could use his skills. His skills at Cisco were to go into Fortune 500 companies and help them communicate better. And when he started looking for a market, he went back to his high school recruiting experience as a soccer player. It wasn't the best experience ever, and he thought he could find a company. He could make a company that would help high school athletes communicate better with college coaches.
I see. Connect a little quicker and provide better, distinct information in the process.
Exactly.
Okay. So how did you get involved with Jump Forward?
So the company was on Shark Tank in the fall of 2009. I saw that episode and recognized one of the guys on there. Brian Duggan was a former Kellogg Graduate School buddy of mine. I had started a company very similar to that about 10 years earlier with a couple of friends of mine. So when it came out, I gave him a call and offered to give him some of my advice.
And what did that advice include?
Well, basically, in the 10 years since my company was around, I'd seen about 100 companies try for that market and fail. And you could always tell how long they were going to last based on how much money they raised. You spend a lot of money marketing to high school athletes, and then they graduate. So you got to spend all that money again to market to the new kids. They hadn't raised that much money. So I wrote a business plan for them that basically flipped it so that we were focusing on the college athletic departments. Then you could do 3-year contracts. You could have longer-term contracts and have revenue that was recurring.
So did your customers switch from the high school students to the college athletic department, coaches and whatnot?
Exactly.
Staff?
Exactly.
There you go. So you found a niche and found a great way to serve it. So tell me a little bit. You have a unique background, a professional sports background. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I played baseball at Northwestern University. After 4 years there, I was lucky enough to get drafted by the Minnesota Twins. I had another year of eligibility left, so I actually considered going to graduate school. But after talking to the dean of admissions there, he said the average student that's in the graduate school has 6 years of work experience, and that experience is valuable to the classroom. So I decided to play baseball, and as I was playing baseball, in the off seasons, I would get jobs that would help me gain that experience. Instead of working for a retail store, just doing something small, I made sure that I got jobs that really boosted up my resume so that when my playing career was over, I was able to apply to Kellogg and get in.
Good for you. So you were a smart baseball player.
I was a smart baseball player, and I got a lot of beef for it from the guys.
So tell us about your offices. How many employees and what geographic areas do you serve? I think you're all over the map, right? U.S. mostly?
Yeah, so it's mostly U.S. We serve college athletic departments. The colleges that we serve are in the United States. We're in 47 of the states. We have 38 employees. Wow. 25 of them are in our West Loop office in Chicago, and the other 13 work remotely.
Gotcha. So some of the big schools that you work with, athletic departments, can you share some of those names?
Yeah, we work with most of the biggest schools in the country. Our main focus is Division I. We serve 250 of the 350 Division I schools. Ohio State, Southern Cal, Florida State, Michigan. I don't want to leave anybody out because there'll be listeners.
With you.
Northwestern, we have Northwestern.
There you go, good. You better have the alma mater. Hey, if you're just tuning in, this is the Get Down to Business Playmaker Spotlight, brought to you by Vistage International, the world's largest CEO and business owner private advisory board organization, and we're talking to Brad Niedermaier, who's president and CEO of Jump Forward LLC. So I want to get back to the book. I found you in this book, The Wizards. I had another company that I work closely with, about 15 or 20 companies profiled in that book. And, that Shark Tank story was very impressive. You guys, your partners got the largest offer ever on Shark Tank at $600,000. Is that what it was?
Yep. They were the season 1 finale. Wow. And at the time, I'd been watching the show that first year. Yeah. And it was a great show. So when I saw them on, and I knew one of the guys, I thought it was pretty funny. They went in asking for $150,000. Oh. And the Sharks left offering them $600,000.
And then the story gets even more interesting. You guys in the due diligence, process decided to turn the offer down to $600,000, right?
Correct.
And then you came along and you put the business plan together, and you've now taken it to great success.
Exactly. Yep.
Good for you. So tell me a little bit about your company's culture. So, read statements in the book. It's all about the customer, take care of the customer, and you also have that philosophy a little bit as it relates to your employees, I understand, right? Yeah.
Our culture is built on passion, communication, and fun, but the main thing is really taking care of your employees. So what we like to do is we don't have much of a dress code. So guys show up, wearing what they're comfortable in. They work late. We start by hiring passionate people. So these passionate people, when you put them all in the same office, there's just a good vibe. Right. And that allows them to start hanging out with each other. They communicate a lot. We have 13 employees that are out of the office, so we have to be in constant communication to make sure that we know what everybody's doing. And it's a top-down thing, too. We communicate to our employees so that they know what the company's goals and visions are. Yeah. So then when they're out of the office, when they go on campus, they can deliver the goals and visions to the customers and feel confident knowing that they can make some decisions for themselves while they're out there.
Empowered employees. They've got the power to help and make decisions and really make things happen right away.
Exactly.
So tell us, what kind of products does Jump Forward provide the college athletic departments?
So we really have 3 levels of products. The first thing we do is we provide custom software solutions for many of the different users in the college athletic department. Student athletes use us to complete their forms, to learn some rules education, and to leave tickets for people at games. The compliance department uses us. We have a very robust compliance solution. The business office uses us for some of that Title IX reporting. They have to spend certain amounts on the female sports and the male sports, which is unique to the college market. So so these unique solutions really help. We also have equipment solutions. We have academic services solutions. We have marketing. We have fundraising. So we have solutions for each user in the department. The second level is really putting everyone onto the same platform. So once we have all these individual users, we put them on the same platform where they can share information from the campus systems. They can communicate with each other. One of the things that they didn't, each sport has a roster, and that roster changes all the time. Before we got there, they had versions that were week to week, month to month, and no one ever knew if they were working on the right version. So just putting things like that on one platform really makes them feel more comfortable.
And making it a lot easier to get through the prospects, both the recruits that come to 6 or 7 colleges perhaps to check out, right?
Exactly.
And the athletic departments that have to stay within certain guidelines.
Yep. And then the third level of service we provide is predictive analytics. So all these schools have strategic plans, and we take all this data that we have and we put it into a platform for them so that they can track their progress towards the goals of the strategic plan.
Nice. So there's an academic element too, as well as just recruiting great athletes at the college level, right?
Absolutely.
We're watching that. Good. Well, we're just about out of time. Boy, that time goes fast, Brad. Very interesting company, great niche that you formed. So how do people, whether they're athletes or college athletic departments that you're not working with, how do they get in touch with you?
They can call us at 1-866-499-0564, or they can visit our website, www.jumpforward.com.
Wonderful. Hey, I'd like to thank you, Brad, for joining us, and thank our listeners for tuning in once again this week. This has been the Playmaker Spotlight with your host, Dick Smith, the CEO, business coach, and award-winning chair for Vistage International. You can find me on LinkedIn or send me an email at dick.smith@vistagechair.com. Stay tuned now for more Get Down to Business with my friend Shalom Klein.
She's bold.